Hello. Chapter I had was chapter 3, and pretty much this chapter covered the political economy of countries and how that affects economic development. And at first, they talk about all this different sorts of measures of a country's strengths or weaknesses, such as like GNI or GDP, and all those different measures of how a country's citizens are doing, what their standard of living is. And they also talk about things like innovation and entrepreneurs and how they affect the country, because as they create new products, new processes, then they create new opportunities for jobs, new markets for the country to go into, and new businesses that could arise from those entrepreneurs' work. And also that how that connects into the political aspect of it. The more restrictions there are by the government, then the less opportunity there is for innovation, and the less enticing that country is for entrepreneurs and their ideas. Also, pretty much it requires a market economy. There's a very strong relationship between economic freedom and economic growth. So pretty much they would also need to have strong property rights within that country, because without property rights, any idea could be stolen, and that really demotivates anybody with an idea to, you know, go about it within that country. Also talked about how countries with favorable geography have a better growth rate, and that makes good sense to me, just because you'd think if you were, landlocked, that it would be harder to import and export things, as if you were a coastal country, then you could easily ship things out, ship things in. You'd have a lot of ports, access to things. So I think it'd make it easier in general just to, sell and transport your goods and buy them. Another factor in economic development would be countries that invest heavily in education. Obviously, the more you invest in education, the smarter your, you know, citizens will be, and the higher the growth rate will be, because your workforce is more productive. And some trends that have been popping up recently and since the 1980s have been the democratic revolution and a move away from centrally planned economies. So essentially, that's less restrictions within the government for the economy, which, as we saw before, was a good thing. And it's also democratic governments replacing totalitarian regimes. So obviously, that's also good for innovation and entrepreneurs.